Well, morning and welcome to the Bold Trail Academy. Uh, Today we're going, right, Steve?
Yep.
And where we're going to start is right here at the Bold Trail Academy. It's on the school platform, and I'll have Steve or John share the link with you. But all the content that I create is going to be on the school platform, and I've created a classroom right here, and it is the 12-week series. So it's a new classroom. There's no videos in it, but this today I'm going to put in, and there'll be 12 videos at the end. You can see week one right here. I have the description. And once we're done with today's presentation, you'll find the recording in this classroom. So join the Bold Trail Academy. I have one pending membership right now. What I plan on with this is to smart campaigns and blogging content here so that we as agents, we could all go and become the area expert through using kvCORE, Bold Trail Academy, and getting our messaging out. And so let me jump in. And I just want to start off by saying that in the 3 years that I've used this platform, I've really begun to understand the missed opportunity I've had for the last 20 years of my real estate career because I haven't kept in contact with my database. It isn't because I didn't want to, it's because I just didn't know how. I never took the time. And now that I'm in this, it is amazing how I'm not out there trying to chase after more new leads. It's more about establishing long-term relationships. And that's something that Steve Hillier has always been very good at doing. I've watched him do it over his real estate career. And Steve's had an amazing career when it comes to production in real estate, right, Steve?
Oh, better than average, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, one of the top producers in the area. And so what we're doing with this 12-week series is to get into how to use technology with a lot of what Brent Gove and Steve Hillier have done to be amazing agents, some of the top producers in this area. And so the importance of using a CRM, I just can't stress it enough. Um, I think I lost my screen share.
Nope, still got it.
Okay. Um, so let's jump into it. Where am I going? All right, you got my screen share?
Yes.
All right. And so within this, what makes this platform really effective is the automations. And so before we get into generating leads, it's important to get the automation set in place. I was part of a Zillow team several years back that we generated, I don't know how many hundreds of leads, paid upwards of $80,000 for these leads, and our close rate was less than 3%. And
Actually, it was 186,000 in leads. It was about 900 leads.
and what was our close rate on it?
Not enough.
Not enough. But I'm going to tell you that some of those leads I have in my kvCORE right now, and 5 years later, I'm communicating with them, and I have and I believe I'm going to close them because I'm keeping in touch with them. And so before we go out and start generating leads, we need to make sure that we are set up within the platform. And so within that space, um, I go into my profile, and it's right up here. Your name is in the upper right-hand corner. And you want to get into your profile and you want to make sure that all your coordinates are set up. Very easy to do. You edit, you go in, you fill in all of these areas. Many people on this call, I'm confident, have gone in and done this. Um, but we're going to step further. and looking at, I want everyone's socials to be congruent. And so Steve, don't you offer a program right now for new vision agents to go in and do an audit of the socials to make sure that they all line up?
Yeah, if there's anyone on the New Vision team that's on this training, sorry for the rest of you, but if you do, we offer a 3-hour training we cover where our VA sets up all of your social media.
And so
Gets it
to
all
that
concurrent.
point, um, I've worked on my social for years, and I go in and I set these things up. If you need help setting these up, I have that service available. But in the in Southern California, it's devastating. It reminds me of the Paradise Fire. So I have this video I put out last week on Facebook about the insurance commissioner's new regulations on what's going to happen with fire insurance premiums, homeowners insurance premiums. So I'm social today. I've shared it to my personal page. I have the video I put out last week before I even knew the fires were happening. And so my point is that because I have taken the time to set up my socials, I'm able to get this messaging. I don't have the photo, but I have on my TikTok. These are the videos that I'm putting out. And so you all need to go and do this. Um, do it because when you're out there generating internet leads, your internet presence is now your business card. So if you don't have a congruent message throughout your social, or if you don't have all of these social things set up, I can guarantee that if they're comparing you to another agent out there that does have all this set up, who are you going to choose? I know myself personally, when I'm in looking at the Google business page, and this is my business page on Google, when I'm looking at bike shops or home improvement centers or pest companies or home improvement, I'm going in and I'm looking and saying, okay, who is this agent? Are they active? Do they have a business card out there? So going back to the basics, guys, right here is where you put in your social links. I don't put in Pinterest. I suppose I could, um, but you want to fill this out. You want to make sure that your presence is established with your social, so that you have that business card out there. Steve, anything you want to add to that?
No, except please make the time to get this done correctly because you're missing business. I can guarantee you're missing business.
Yeah. And so very important that you do that. The other thing is, if you are currently receiving leads, like I receive leads from realty.com. It was something that was set up through EXP, and they're good leads. But what I did when I started receiving these leads is I went into the API Nation and I set up the API so that when I receive those leads, they come directly into my kvCORE. And so if you're receiving leads from realtor.com, Zillow, Redfin, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you have your API code set up so that they're coming into your database, and you have you have all of those links automated. There's no reason today that you would need to have to input a lead that you get from Zillow and manually input it into kvCORE. The other problem that it creates is that we have new laws coming into place when it comes to directly to homeowners, whether it be through email or direct phone calls. On the 24th, there's a whole new set of laws come in that says, look, if you don't have uh, consent, if you don't have permission from that homeowner, I believe it's a $500 to $1,500 per incident fine if you are cold calling or spam texting or any of that. Um, I will put that information about those new laws in the Bold Trail Academy so that you can reference those. But the point I want to make is that when you have an inbound lead that comes in through a source and it registers in your kvCORE, that is your verified consent to market back to them. I always bring up the book Permission Marketing because it's exactly what we're doing. We're getting permission to market to homeowners, and so you want to make sure that you have that built-in consent. So if anyone ever calls you to the table, you can come back and say, "Well, this is where the lead came from." So it's very important.
Let
So
me
to
make
that
one
point,
addition. Can I
go
make one
ahead.
addition, Alex?
Yeah.
So tying into this where he mentioned he can get the API code for realty.com and realtor.com and Zillow.com, these different lead sites. We will be doing a class, and currently on our team site, we have access for all the sites that you can sign up for free leads and pay leads, all in one area. And that will be one of the classes that Alex is going to teach, giving you guys access to every one of those lead sites that you could fill out and get on their roster. And if a lead comes in, it can get pushed into your kvCORE. So as you learn the basics that Alex is going to teach you, we're going to ramp it up with some of these other value things so you can get these inbound leads.
Nice, nice. Now, once the lead comes in, okay, speed to lead is everything, guys. Have we all heard this? Speed to lead. So,
Yes.
with that said, we want to make sure that we have the automation set up. That's the beautiful part of this platform is the automations. And so within that, one of the best automations is your smart campaigns. Okay. So I'm in my smart campaigns all the time. I have 37 that are in my campaigns. The system library is here. And within the system library, you can go and add any one of these campaigns to your platform. Okay. And so when you have a lead come in, you want to make sure that you have these campaigns in your library. So these are the campaigns. Again, I'm here under marketing and smart campaigns. And you want to add them to your library. Okay. You can customize these campaigns so the messaging is consistent with the type of agent that you are. One of the big questions I've heard coming to the end of 2024, going into 2025, is what kind of agent are you? Steve, how many times have we heard that sitting in these different seminars?
A lot.
A lot. And so Steve called me earlier this week, all excited, and he's like, Alex, we're going to cook pizza and we're going to be the pizza agents. And I'm like, I'm in, let's do it, you know.
That's actually a real thing. We're going to
It
do
did.
pizza.
It happened. We're gonna go cook pizza. Um, but you know, what kind of agent are you? What are you gonna do to get your messaging out? You need to make sure that your smart campaigns are consistent with that messaging. And so it's one thing to add the campaigns. You can add them to your library. You can go into these and you can look at each one and see what it says. And if you don't like the messaging that's here, you can clone the campaign and you can change that messaging. I didn't do that when I started. I just said, you know what? I just want to get started with this, and I used the messaging that was in there. I will say that the messages that are there now are not consistent with the current market. And so what I'm doing moving forward is I'm creating new smart campaigns that I'll put on the Bold Trail Academy and it'll have different messaging in it. Like one that we're releasing next week is the neglected database campaign. So,
What you're
how many
referring
on
to,
this
Alex,
call? Go ahead.
what you're
What's
referring
that?
to is creating a token. You're referring to creating a token and for the campaigns, which is part of the future classes.
That's right. That's right. And so we'll go over that. But you have to have them turned on because when the lead comes in, you want to make sure that you have the automation started and the campaigns are running. Um, and the other part of this, guys, that I can't stress enough is that It's great to have the automations, but the real traction is when you pick up the phone and make that call. And this system, it reminds you to call them, call your leads, and when a lead takes activity, it notifies you so that you do call them. And so you got Spark. The thing is go to lead engagement. And so, as you guys know, if you've been on the call before, I keep this database of demos. 80s hair bands is what I focus on. And so let's go into Brett Michael. If Brett Michael was a new lead that just came in, and I've had this in here for a while, but it's my demo for the day. Brett Michael came in. He's supposedly living in Rockland on Skyline Drive. And so he comes in, and now I want to turn on automations. And so within this, I want to say, okay, I want to make sure that I have a campaign, and I'm going to say I want him to have the 1 year nurture campaign for the buyer. All right, so now I've turned on that campaign. Now I want a listing valuation, and his property, I have him at 3919, and this may not work because I don't have the best internet connection. Skyline. Yeah, so it's not going to work for me because I'm in a bad internet connection. But normally it would use geolocate through Google to come up with the address, and you would have the property valuation populate in there, and it happens every 30 days. Um, Also within there, you want a market report. As you can see right here, I have a market report set up every 28 days for that zip code, 95677. So now every 28 days, this contact receives that market report. So these are the automations. Now, within the automations, it's important to keep in mind that we don't want to oversaturate any contact with too many points of contact. And so within this, if I had a market report, a listing val, and a smart campaign turned on, well, they're going to receive emails from me every other day. And I don't know about you, but when that happens, when someone's marketing to me, I generally try turn those marketings off. Um, John, what's your experience with that?
Yeah, I would definitely agree that you want to meter it out. And I'm really cognizant of that when I set mine up for that reason, that we want to think about the mixture of text and email. Phone calls are kind of take care of themselves, I think. You do that on a basis that's comfortable. But you really want to go through and set up a metering. And you're right on the point on that, because I'm the same way. If I get too much, I just block it. It might be something I'm interested in initially, but if it continues to be too pervasive, I'm done. So you want to be careful about that. More important to be quick about it when you first get the contact than anything else.
Yeah. And so when you do have a client who has taken action within the platform, and I'll show you an example of that. This is the activity that's going on within my platform, and you can see that I've had this interaction go on. Okay, so you don't want to be tied to your desk to be able to take action. So can you guys see my phone right there? I have the kvCORE app. This is the agent mobile app, and when you go into it, it's all the activity. It's like a mini version of this desktop app. Okay. And so you want to have this if you're an Android user or an iPhone user. The app is available for both platforms, and so you want to have the mobile app because when activity happens on my platform, it shows up in the app. And so this is the app on the Apple Store. Just go in and search kvCORE app. I'm sure everyone knows how to do that. You download it, you log in with the same credentials that you do with the desktop version. And now when you're on the road and you get any sort of notifications, they're going to come to your phone. And then you can, if it's this guy, Ronnie Sparker, who all of a sudden is looking for a house. Funny thing about this lead is this guy bought a listing of mine and he had registered, but already had a buyer's agent. So I was like, that's cool. So he ended up buying the house, and I kept in touch with him through kvCORE, and now he's looking to buy another house in the area. Not my client, but because I've constantly kept in touch with him, now he is my client. So you want to have the mobile app, and that way you know when these contacts are or the leads are taking action within the database, and you're able to do that follow up quickly, speed to lead. So you want to get that mobile app. The other thing you want to do, and again, we're back to basics, we're setting up. I'm into my Chrome. When you're using kvCORE, everybody use Chrome. It's designed to work on Chrome. If you're using Safari or any other um, search portal, that's fine, but it's not going to work as well on Chrome. And so when you get into Chrome, you go into your extensions and you want to get the kvCORE extension, okay? And that allows kvCORE to integrate with different social platforms um, when you're using it. So there's two things. You want to get the mobile app, and then you want to get the Chrome extension. And I'll put the links to these. I'll put the links to them in the school platform. I'll put the links out there. All right. So once you get those things set up, you want to create a
I
daily.
have a quick clarification, Alex.
Go
When we
ahead.
go into the App Store, will it be seen as kvCORE or will it be seen as Bold Trail going forward?
Right now, it's still kvCORE. I did this search today.
Just so
Okay.
people know, it will convert over to Bold Trail.
Yeah. The whole platform is being rebranded as Bold Trail because uh, kvCORE, or I should say Inside Real Estate, who owns kvCORE, purchased another CRM platform. And so they're merging them together. So thank you for pointing that out. Now, daily workflow. It's something that as agents, we all need to have a schedule that we work by. Otherwise, we go down these rabbit holes, and next thing you know, it's noon and you've looked at this cool AI tool all day. It doesn't really make you any money. We all want to make money with this. And so within this space, I want you to go into your profile, and within your profile, you're going to turn on task. Okay. And so I don't have mine turned on right now. But within this, oh, yeah, I do have them. Here, they're not turned on. So each day, I'm going to have the platform create 5 tasks for me a day. Maybe I want it to be 6. Maybe I want it to be 20. I want them to start at 9 a.m. Okay, this is going to help me because now I have 47 tasks to do. You can see I'm past due, been on vacation this week. But build this into your schedule. Now, the system is telling me that I haven't called some of these leads, or these leads have taken action and I need to follow up with them. Whatever it is, you have to have your tasks turned on, and you need to build this into your daily schedule. That way, like for me, when I tackle these tasks, I like to do it in the afternoon because I find more people are home. I could do it at 9 o'clock in the morning, but I find that I'm not getting as many direct contacts. Steve, what's your experience with that?
Yeah, it really depends. I would say you have a much higher rate of connection from 3 to 6 or from 3 to 7.
Yeah. And so when you're doing these tasks, um, you want to make sure you're following up on them and you're making your notes, and that way you're staying on top of your database. And so when you go in and do your follow-up, say we're going to call, we'll go back to Brett Michael. Say I go in here and I'm going to call Brett Michael. Now I have the smart number. There's two things that we're going to cover as we move forward in this 12-week series. One of them is that you have a smart number, and the other one is that you have a vanity domain. But when I go in and make that call, I call through the database. I can go ahead and call now. It rings through to my cell phone. And then whatever the results are of that call, I can go in here and say, attempted the call, didn't leave a message, and I can save that outcome. And then it shows up in the activity. There it is. Made the call, and you can leave notes on it. And then as you go through this and you're building that rapport and that relationship with the client, you can go in here and make notes and say, um, looking to sell in 3 to 6 months. Add that note. So now the note's added, and when you come back to this contact, when the system tells you to come back to it, you can go, okay, well, what was my last conversation? Well, I called, I didn't leave a message, but I know they want to do something in the next 3 to 6 months. And so if you're using the platform exclusively to run your business, you're going to know each lead in detail as to what those conversations are. The other thing this allows you to do is that when you're going in and making that phone call, you can look at the activity that's gone on in the database, and you can say, hey, I sent you an email regarding Pinehurst Drive. What did you think of that property? If this was a buyer, or if it's focused on the sale of the property. Hey, I sent you that home evaluation. What did you think of the numbers in that? So using the database exclusively really helps you run your business. And those are the basics. Those are the basics I wanted to cover today. Just going back to it, I want you to
And
go
to
in.
restate, Alex, this will be put up on the Bold Trail Academy. So if anyone is in this class, please join the Bold Trail. And could you put that link in the chat?
I certainly will. I want you, just to recap, go into your profile, get your socials done, make sure that they're congruent across your different social platforms. Make sure you have your Google business page going. And you don't have to do all of these social platforms. But the point is that you want to make sure that the messaging is consistent across those different platforms. And so here's my members. Here they are. Here's my invite. I'm going to copy my invite link. I'll go ahead and put it into the chat. And anyone who's not currently a member of the school platform, the Bold Trail Academy, please join. And like I said, the content will be there. This recording will be there. I'll put the links for the various things that we've covered on this call. So that's what I
Alex,
got for you. John, do you have anything to wrap it up?
I have a question for you. Do you have a fee in mind for those agents who would like an initial setup with you as far as the integrations?
Log off.
Just mute yourself. You'll be fine. We're good. Anyway, do you have a fee in mind or something that we can talk about as far as the initial setup for agents who would like a little bit of help just getting off the ground?
Yeah, so great question. Thank you. I've helped several agents where I go in to their kvCORE, and for 395, I go in and do an evaluation of your current kvCORE setup, your current social media, and then also your current database. So if you don't have your database loaded, I get it loaded in. I make sure it's done the right way with the right hashtags. And hashtags is something I'll cover in future videos or classes. Um, Making sure you have the right hashtags in your database so that you have an active database that you can really search in. Um, so yeah, it's 395, 395 for that.
Thank you.
Okay. Steve, anything to add as we wrap up?
Nope, let's end the recording and go some questions and answers. Thank you.
All right. Let me end the recording.